time today. I also need scissors, maybe. It kind of just depends on, so the only required thing is paper, something to do your artwork on, okay? How you do that is up to you. So here are some materials that you may want.
So, lo único que necesitan ahorita es papel. Las tijeras son opcional o las otras cosas de arte.
Okay, so you might want scissors and colored paper to cut out.
Miss Ashley también tiene papel de color, pero no necesitan, solo si quieren. Son unas opciones que tienen.
I have colors, colored pencils, crayons, markers, any sort of colors is great.
También pueden usar marcadores, crayolas, lo que quieran usar.
I do suggest having a pencil to start with.
Pero sí sugiere que tengan un lápiz para que empiecen.
You might want paints. Paints here, maybe watercolors that you add water to, okay, or something like a poster paint or a tempera paint. Paint's fine as well.
También otra opción es que también pueden usar pintura para su proyecto de arte hoy.
Okay, and if you have paint, you want something to put water in to change your colors and to dab your brush on. Okay, and it's also helpful. Sometimes at home you might have a little paint dish lying around. You can use a paper plate. Works great as well.
También si usan pintura, pueden agarrar un vaso para que puedan poner su pincel. También pueden usar un papel, un plato de papel para que puedan mezclar sus colores.
And I also have some fun popsicle sticks, puff balls. I'm forgetting what these are called.
Pipe cleaners?
Pipe cleaners, thank you, Beatrice. Yes, pipe cleaners, okay, that can be fun for your house as well. Ooh, feathers, okay, anything you want, but then if you're gonna use that, you probably need to have some sort of a glue.
Okay, también otras opciones que pueden usar es alambres, algodones, plumas, y si usan algunas de esas cosas también sería bueno usar pegamento para que puedan pegar todo en su proyecto.
And tape can work as well.
O también cintas quieren.
Okay, and I have some other markers in here. Even fun things like this is just like a little doily edge. I could add that to my house for frills. Okay, so you can get really creative.
So ahorita es tiempo para que usen su creatividad y pueden usar cualquier cosa que encuentren en su casa.
Please don't interrupt while somebody's talking. Yes, how may I help you? Nita, thank you for raising your hand.
Here's some markers and here's some tape.
Is we gonna ask what we have?
No, I'm not going to ask you what you have because whatever you have at your house is going to be just fine. So we're going to use whatever you have, and I'm going to be surprised at what your picture looks like. If all you have is a paper and pencil, you could still do this activity.
Entonces pueden usar cualquier cosa que encuentren en su casa, pero recuerden que es importante tener un papel blanco y un lápiz.
Right? So as long as you have this, you can do this project. Okay, does anybody have any other questions before I continue?
No saques punta nada. Ponte a hacer. No lo necesitas ahorita.
Carolina, do you have a question?
¿Alguien tiene una pregunta?
Are we gonna supposed to need other stuff?
What do you mean by, you mean other than a paper and a pencil?
No, I meant like, are we gonna start doing our house?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna read you a book first to inspire you, and then we're gonna start doing our house. So what I wanna know though, before we start, is if anyone have any questions about the materials you can use.
¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta de los materiales que tiene que usar o cualquier cosa?
Nita?
What, like, why do we need all of these materials? Do we have to make one or do we don't?
So this is part of class time. This is being in class, just like reading or math. It's part of our school day. So yes, you should make one at your house. That is required. Okay, but how you do it, Nita, what you choose to use and how you choose to draw your house is up to you. Does that answer your question?
But does it have to be a house?
Let me read the book, and then I think it will make it a little more clear why it's a house. Okay?
Okay, entonces ahorita vamos a leer un libro y les va a dar una mejor idea de por qué vamos a hacer una casa. Porque vamos a hacer un proyecto de arte con casas.
Stella, did you have a hand up, or is that a stretch? No hand? Okay. All right. So if you are drawing or writing, please stop and look up here at your computer, and I'm going to read you a story.
Okay, entonces si están dibujando, hay que parar y escuchar la historia.
So this is one of my favorite stories, and it's called The Big Orange Splot.
So ese libro se llama La Gran Mancha Anaranjada.
The Big Orange Splot by Daniel Manus Pinkwater.
So significa La Mancha Anaranjada por Daniel Manus.
All right, this is Mr. Plumbean. And Mr. Plumbean lived on a street where all the houses were the same.
So es ese señor Mr. Plumbean y él vivía en una calle donde todas las casas eran iguales.
Liked it that way. So did everybody else on Mr. Plumbean's street. This is a neat street, they would say.
So a todos les gustaban las casas así. Todos decían, esta es una muy bonita calle.
See that every house looks the same. Estoy mismo.
It's just some of them is smaller and some of them is bigger and some of them has lighter tops. Some of them are lighter.
Actually, they're meant to be the same. Like, look here. All of those look pretty much the same. And you'll see.
No, look on the other page.
That's fine, but they still mostly have 4 windows. They have a red house, a green roof. They're still very similar. Then one day,
Entonces un día,
a seagull flew over Mr. Plumbean's house. He was carrying a can of bright orange paint. No one knows why.
Entonces un día una gaviota voló arriba de la casa de Mr. Plumbean y nadie sabía por qué tenía un balde de pintura anaranjada.
Please be muted. Thank you. And he dropped the can, and no one knows why, right over Mr. Plumbean's house.
Y se le cayó el balde de pintura arriba de la casa de Mr. Plumbean, pero nadie sabía por qué.
It made a big orange spot right on Mr. Plumbean's house.
So hizo una gran mancha anaranjada arriba de la casa de Mr. Plumbean.
Oh, too bad, everybody said. Mr. Plumbean will have to paint his house again.
Y todos dijeron, qué mala suerte. Mr. Plumbean va a tener que pintar su casa otra vez.
I suppose I will, said Mr. Plumbean, but he didn't paint his house right away. He looked at the big orange spot for a long time, and then he went about his business.
So Mr. Plumbean pensó, lo haré, pero no lo hizo enseguida. Solo miró la mancha anaranjada y continuó con su día.
The neighbors got tired of seeing that big orange spot, and someone said, Mr. Plumbean, we'd wish you'd get around to painting your house. Okay, said Mr. Plumbean.
Pero los vecinos se cansaron de mirar la mancha anaranjada y le dijeron, Mr. Plumbean, quisiéramos que pintaras tu casa. Y Mr. Plumbean dijo, okay.
So, he got some paint, some blue paint, and some white paint, and that night he got busy. He painted at night because it was cooler. And when the paint was gone, the roof was blue.
So ese día, Mr. Plumbean agarró pintura azul y pintura blanca y empezó a pintar en la noche, pero al día siguiente le convirtió la pintura azul.
The walls were white, and the big orange spot was still there.
Las paredes estaban blancas, pero la mancha anaranjada todavía estaba allí.
Then he got some more paint. He got red paint, yellow paint, green paint, and purple paint.
Y después agarró más pintura, agarró pintura roja, pintura amarilla, verde.
Do you think his house is going to look the same now?
¿Piensa que la cosa se va a ver igual?
I see people shaking their head no, right? Those aren't the colors of all the houses on Mr. Plumbean's street, right?
So, los colores no son iguales que las otras casas en la calle de Mr. Plumbean.
In the morning, the other people on the street came out of their houses.
Al día siguiente, todas las otras personas que vivían en la calle de Mr. Plumbean salieron de sus casas.
Their houses were all the same, but Mr. Plumbean's house was like a rainbow.
So, todos los demás vecinos, sus casas eran iguales, pero la casa de Mr. Plumbean parecía un arco iris.
It was like a jungle. It was like an explosion.
Era como una jungla, era como una explosión.
There was the big orange spot. The big orange spot.
Todavía estaba la mancha anaranjada.
And there were little orange spots. There were stripes. There were pictures of elephants and lions and pretty girls and steam shovels.
También había manchitas chiquitas anaranjadas. También había dibujos de elefantes, leones. Había rayas también.
Here, let's get you a lighter color. It'll be easier to color on. How about yellow?
I lost my place, so I need to go back in. The people said, Plumbean has popped his cork, flipped his wig, blown his stack, and dropped his stopper. They went away muttering. So they think that he's gone a little bit bonkers in the noggin, a little bit loopy. That day, Mr. Plumbean bought carpenter's tools. And that night, he built a tower on top of his roof, and he painted a clock on the tower.
So, los vecinos empezaron a pensar, Mr. Plumbean se está volviendo un poquito loco. Ese día compró herramientas de carpintero y empezó a construir algo.
The clock? How fun does his house look? Give me a thumbs up if his house looks fun to you.
Markers.
¿Les gusta su casa de Mr. Plumbean?
Yes, Ricardo, it looks fun. Huh?
¿Les gusta, sí o no?
It looks to me a lot more fun than these houses. Yes?
¿Cuál casa les gusta más, los de los vecinos o los de Mr. Plumbean?
Mr. Plumbean.
Mr. Plumbean.
The next day, the people said, Plumbean has gushed his mush, lost his marbles, and slipped his trouser. So they're saying he's a little crazy. They decided they would pretend not to notice. So
So, al día siguiente, los vecinos dijeron, a Mr. Plumby se le está botando las canicas, se está volviendo loco, y decidieron ignorarlo.
Faltan nuevas baterías.
Glad you're enjoying the story. I'm going to mute everyone just so that we don't hear background noise.
I think they want you to make a very colorful house.
Okay.
That's
There we go. Okay. That very night, Mr. Plumbean
Esa misma noche, Mr. Plumby
got a truck full of green things.
llenó una troca llena de puras cosas verdes.
He planted palm trees, thorn bushes, onions, and frangipanies. In the morning, he bought a hammock and an alligator.
Entonces, Mr. Plumby también compró palmas, arbustos y también compró una vaca.
And when the other people came out of their houses, they saw Mr. Plumbean swinging on a hammock in between two palm trees. They saw an alligator lying on the grass, and Mr. Plumbean was drinking lemonade.
So, al día siguiente, cuando salieron los vecinos vieron que Mr. Plumby estaba subido en una hamaca que la estaba cargando con dos palmas. Y también había un cocodrilo en su yarda.
And now
Y estaba tomando un vaso de limonada.
remember, you're not drawing right now. You're not making your house. You're just listening. And so I want to see everyone's eyes on the book.
So, ahorita no hay que dibujar. Ahorita vamos a todos mirar el libro todavía hasta que se termine.
Plumbean has gone too far. This used to be a neat street. Plumbean, what have you done to your house? The people shouted.
So, al día siguiente, sus vecinos dijeron, Mr. Plumby, has ido demasiado lejos. Esta era una calle muy bonita. ¿Qué has hecho?
My house is me, and I am it.
Me gusta mi casa y esta es mi casa.
My house is where I like to be, and it looks like all my dreams.
Mr. Plumby dijo, mi casa es donde me gusta estar y tiene todos mis sueños.
Mr. Plumbean said. The people went away. They asked the man who lived next door to Mr. Plumbean to go and have a talk with him.
La gente se fue y fueron a hablar con su vecino de Mr. Plumby y le dijeron, ¿podemos hablar contigo?
Tell him that we all liked it here before he changed his house. Tell him that his house has to be the same as ours so we can have a neat street.
Entonces todos le dijeron al vecino de Mr. Plumby, dile a Mr. Plumby que nos gustaba su casa como estaba antes. Antes era una calle muy bonita.
So the man next door went to see Mr. Plumbean that evening.
Entonces su vecino esa tarde fue a ver a Mr. Plumby, fue a hablar con él.
They sat under the palm trees, drinking lemonade and talking all night long.
Se sentaron abajo del árbol de palmas y tomaron limonada toda la noche.
Do you think he's going to talk Mr. Plumbean into changing his house back the way it was?
¿Ustedes piensan que su vecino de Mr. Plumby va a convencer a Mr. Plumby que haga su casa igual como la tenía antes?
What do you think? Yes or no? Chorus, no. Let's find out.
Yes.
Early the next morning, the man went out to get lumber and rope and nails and paint.
Al día siguiente, el vecino fue a comprar cosas para decorar su casa.
When the people came out of their houses, they saw a red and yellow ship next door to the house of Mr. Plumbean.
Entonces, cuando todos los demás gente salió para afuera, vieron que había una casa en forma de un barco que era roja y amarilla.
What have you done to your house? They shouted at the man.
Y gritaron, ¿qué has hecho con tu casa?
My house is me, and I am it. My house is where I like to be, and it looks like all my dreams, said the man who had always loved ships.
El hombre dijo, esta casa soy yo, me gusta y es la casa de mis sueños, dijo el señor que siempre le habían gustado los barcos.
He's just like Plumbean, the people said. He's got bees in his bonnets, bats in his belfry, and knots in his noodle.
Y toda la gente dijo, él está igual que Mr. Plumbean, se está volviendo loco.
Then one by one, they went to see Mr. Plumbean late at night.
So, uno por uno fueron a ver a Mr. Plumbean en la tarde.
They would sit under the palm trees and drink lemonade and talk about their dreams. And whenever anybody visited Mr. Plumbean's house, the very next day, that person would set about changing his own house to fit his own dreams.
Entonces, fueron, toda la demás gente se sentaron bajo las palmas, tomaron limonada y hablaron. Y al día siguiente, toda la gente que iba y tomaba limonada cambiaba su casa al día siguiente.
These are the neighbors' houses. Someone maybe wanted to go flying in a hot air balloon, so they made their house into a hot air balloon. There's their windows.
Entonces, esa es una casa, la que está allí, es uno de los vecinos. Y ese vecino hizo un globo aerostático. Y están todas las ventanas allá abajo.
Ooh, maybe you want to live in a castle?
Otro vecino hizo un castillo.
Or maybe you want to live in a museum.
Y uno hizo como un museo.
Whenever a stranger came to the street of Mr. Plumbean and his neighbors, the stranger would say, "This is not a neat street."
So, cada vez que venía un desconocido a la calle donde vivía Mr. Plumbean y sus otros vecinos, decía, no me gusta esta calle.
Then all the people would say, "Our street is us, and we are it."
Y todos los vecinos le respondían, estas somos nosotros y esta es nuestra calle.
Our street is where we like to be, and it looks like all our dreams.
Y todos decían, nuestras casas es donde nos gusta estar y se ven como todos nuestros sueños.
The end.
El fin.
So I would like you to create a house, a dream house for yourself that doesn't look like this. You don't want it to be neat and boring.
Entonces, lo que queremos es que hagan su propia casa, que sea una casa interesante, que no se vea como la que está en ese dibujo, que está como muy aburrida.
Okay? So I want you to make a dream
Miss Ashley.
that looks more something like this, but it's up to you. Please don't interrupt while I'm talking. It's up, please raise your hand. It's up to you how you want your house to look. Maybe you want your house to look like the jungle. Maybe you want your house to look like it's floating in the clouds. Maybe you want your house to look like it's being carried by balloons.
So, lo que queremos es que sus casas se vean más como las que están ahí en esa página.
I got an idea.
Rita, please stop interrupting.
Puede ser como ustedes quieran. A lo mejor quieren que su casa se vea como una jungla, que esté volando en las nubes o que tenga globos, como ustedes quieran.
Okay, now I want you to think, what do you want your dream house to look like? And now this is the time to share. Okay, so what do you want your dream house to look like? Does
Entonces,
anybody have any ideas?
entonces ahorita piensen, ¿cómo se vería la casa de mis sueños? Y pueden compartir ahorita. ¿Cómo les gustaría?
Does anybody have an idea that they would like to share?
Cayendo.
¿Alguien quiere compartir su idea? ¿Cómo les gustaría que su casa se mirara?
You give a thumbs up if you have an, Carolina, wonderful, I see your hand. Carolina, what's your idea?
My idea is like making a house first, and then I'm gonna make the grass, and then a lot of colors inside my house.
So you want a colorful house.
So, Carolina va a hacer una casa con muchos colores.
I'm gonna make Plumbeans.
Oh, you want your house to look like Mr. Plumbeans? That's a good idea, if you like Mr. Plumbean's house. Yeah, now is the time
I'm gonna
to
do
get
my
an
house
idea of what you want to do.
Christmas. I'm gonna do my house of Christmas.
Oh, a Christmas house. What a good idea.
Esto no le pintar aquí.
Entonces, Andrés va a hacer su casa como si fuera de Navidad. Con todo
Ahorita va a ser tu casa.
You were unmuting, honey. What is your idea?
Isaac, can you hold yours up again?
Nita, can you hear me?
Well, it's hard to explain it, sort of, because it's got to be really big, kind of.
I
I'm
like
still thinking about it.
So a really big house, though. You want it to be
I'm
a big house.
gonna start doing my
Maybe
house.
a really tiny house. It's up to you. All right.
I'm gonna start doing my house.
So I'm gonna start creating my house, and I want you to start drawing your house at home. And remember, it can be anything you want. Okay. So
Yeah, but
I'm gonna get started with my paper.
I did.
Started with an idea. I see people who are
I have idea.
independent.
I have idea.
¿Ya van a hacer la casa?
And I gonna do a casa.
Ok, ¿ya van a hacerlas todas? Hazla.
Y yo
Empieza
voy
a
a
hacerla.
hacer la casa de dulce.
Buena idea, Ricardo. Una casa de dulces. So Ricardo's going to make a candy house.
A candy house? That is a really good idea. Oh, I like that. All right. Does everyone have an idea in mind?
So todos tienen una idea?
Weird.
Yeah.
Ricardo. Did Brenner disappear? No, Brenner's here. Huh. Maybe nobody disappeared. Somebody disappeared. We're missing somebody all of a sudden. Here, I need to figure out who it is. Okay, we have, I'm just gonna, Nita is here, yes? Okay, Cora's here. Rosa's not here. Stella's here. Abel's not here. Emilio's here. Carolina's here. Emiliano's here. I saw Ricardo's here. And Brenner's here. So I guess they're all here. Who was it that left? Huh. Strange. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna play some music, and we have about 25 minutes just to work on this. And so you're gonna work silently.
On the way, working. Okay, I started.
You can unmute.
Okay, I started.
Yeah,
started.
we're gonna get started. I'm gonna play
Started.
Everybody works quietly, so I'm gonna mute you while we listen to some nice classical music and make our dream houses. And Beatrice, you may unmute though.
Entonces ahorita Miss Ashley va a poner música por 25 minutos y pueden trabajar en su casa de sus sueños. Entonces puede ser como cualquier modo que quieran que su casa sea.
And if you're having trouble getting started, I'm going to start with just drawing a basic house, and then I'm going to work on decorating it and adding to it. So if you're not sure where to start, okay, you can start by just making a basic square.
Entonces, si no están seguros cómo empezar a hacer su casa, pueden empezar haciendo como un cuadro,
with a triangle on top. Let me go over that marker.
Entonces, Miss Ashley empezó haciendo un cuadro y haciéndole un triángulo arriba para el techo. Pero puede ser como ustedes quieran, esa es solo una idea.
And then a triangle on top.
Miss Ashley, look at when I'm starting it.
Okay, so this is just an idea if you're having trouble getting started. Very nice, Nita. Great start. All right, I'm going to play the music again. Go ahead and get to work. Your house is. I'm using pipe cleaners to turn them into clouds on my picture.
I added some water before it gets to the stairs.
Ooh, I like it, adding a moat or water. Very creative. And we'll see how far we get today as a group and see if we need to finish next time or if we just need this time.
Miss Ashley, I just made it so that it can fly out too, and it can connect to the water.
Wonderful.
Can you see the parachute things? What is hooked on to the top of the roof?
Okay, we're going to share at the end too, sweetheart. So let's just get some time to work silently. Good practice. I need tape, maybe. Mine's not working.
A princess book? Miss Ashley, can I show you my straight?
Um,
Like another part of my straight?
That's Nita, we're gonna show at the end, honey, when everyone has a show, okay? I do want to show though, you guys, that I did find my Eric Carl artwork, and with that, I had some extra background pages. You can use your extra or leftover artwork to cut out to add to your house. I'm gonna do that right now. So it's always great to save your leftover artwork to use later in another project.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Ya terminé como foto. Okay.
Very nice, Ricardo. Yes, keep going. I like it.
¿Qué hago más?
Yeah, más. 10 más minutos. 10 more minutes.
Ponen las cositas, dibújale un perrito, una vaquita, un gatito.
Okay.
Love your focus, everyone.
Okay, ahora ya hice gato, ahora el perro.
Una vaca, un gato, un perro.
Yo ya hice el gato, ahora va a ser el perro.
Pasa trompa.
Sí, es lo que estoy haciendo.
About 5 more minutes, 5 minutos más.
It's all. Use this if you want to. And you can use this if you want to. We are hurry. So then, middle.
Well, every year it shifts, so it's incorrect, but we're gonna write that. Well, we know, let's check, that even though the answer is 28, it.
Three more minutes, 3 minutos más. Make sure if you have scraps, you recycle them. One more minute. Finish up your last thing.
Okay, 1 minuto más, terminen la última cosa que estén trabajando.
All right, start finishing up.
finished.
Great. I'm going to play the cleanup song. We have a cleanup song. I'm going to play it and start cleaning up. So start putting your art materials away, recycling your scraps. Okay, and you're going to get a chance to show in just a moment once we're all cleaned up. You can see my sky house here that I made. I made a sky house.
So, ahorita Miss Ashley va a poner la canción que es para limpiar, entonces asegúrense de limpiar todo lo que usaron y reciclen el papel que ya no necesitan. Y ahorita vamos a tener una oportunidad de compartir nuestra casita.
Okay, time to clean up your art supplies. I'm gonna put away my pencils.
Miss Ashley, remember last time when I was doing art, I never got to show you my zebra little picture fancy
Hold
thing?
on, we're cleaning up right now. We'll have time to share after. This is cleanup time. Do you hear the music? So right now is your time to clean up, and we'll get to show. I love your artwork I'm seeing already. Hold on, clean up.
Ahora limpian sus materiales.
Make sure you put your caps on your glue. Good, Brenner. I see you cleaning up.
I have a pencil and then all of these markers. and then I'll just need a blank paper. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, class.
40 more seconds to clean up. And we're going to share.
40 segundos más. Recuerden de limpiar sus materiales, cerrar sus crayolas, sus marcadores, cerrar su pegamento y alzar sus cosas.
Recycle my scraps I don't need. All right. Hey. So I'm going to quickly share mine, and then I'm going to go to gallery view and stop recording so you can share yours. Okay, so I made a sky house today. Yours might look similar. It might look different. Thank you, Emiliano. My house is on a cloud. I have a star door. Okay, I have a sun. I have stars, so it's all in the sky. All right, so I hope you had fun making your house today, your dream house. That isn't boring and isn't neat and represents a little bit about who you are. I like to be a dreamer. Thank you, Brenner. Thank you for the thumbs up. All right, I'm going to stop recording.